Chapter 17. An Invitation from Moonface and Silky. Nobody had really enjoyed their visit to the rocking land, which had been a mistake anyhow. They sat in Moonface's house, untying their cushions from their backs and fronts, and looking at all the bruises they had got. "What shall we do with these cushions?" said Bessie. "Moonface could do with them, I expect," said Fanny. "He uses such a lot for his slippery slip, don't you, Moonface?" "Yes, they'd do very well," said Moonface, his big face beaming joyfully. "Some of mine are getting very old and worn. We can't possibly give them back to the cross old lady in the rocking land, so we might as well put them to some good use." "Right," said Joe, and he handed Moonface his 2 cushions. Everyone else did the same. Moonface was pleased. He poured lemonade for everyone and handed round a tin of sweets. "I don't feel as if I ever want to see what land is at the top of the faraway tree again," said Joe, as he munched on a peculiar toffee sweet, which seemed to get bigger in his mouth instead of smaller. "Neither do I," said Bessie. "I certainly never will," said Fanny. "It seems as if there are never any lands there worth visiting. They are all most uncomfortable." "Except my little land," said the saucepan man, rather mournfully. "I was always very comfortable there." Joe's sweet was now so big that he couldn't say a word. Then it suddenly exploded in his mouth, and it went to nothing and left him feeling most astonished. "Oh dear, did you take a toffee shock?" said Moonface, noticing Joe's surprised face. "I'm so sorry. Take another sweet." No, thank you," said Joe, feeling that 1 toffee shock was quite enough. "I think we'd really better be going. It must be getting late." "What's going to happen to the old saucepan man now that he's lost his land?" asked Bessie, picking up a yellow cushion ready to slide down the tree. "Oh, he'll live with Mr. What's-his-name," said Moonface. "Hallo, he's taken a toffee shock by mistake. Watch him do." They all watched the saucepan man's toffee shock. Had got enormous, and it was about to explode. It did, and went to nothing in his mouth. The saucepan man blinked his eyes and looked in astonishment. That everyone shouted with laughter. "That was a toffee shock you were eating," said Moonface. "A coffee clock," said the saucepan man, even more surprised. "Dear me!" "Come on," said Bessie, giggling. "It's time we went. See you another day, Moonface. Goodbye, saucepan man." She shot off down the slippery slip, round and out the trap-door at the bottom. Then Fanny slid off, and then Joe. "Goodbye," he called. "Goodbye." Mother was astonished to see their bruises. "Whatever have you been doing?" she said. "I shan't let you go to tea with the saucepan man again if you come home looking like this. And how dirty your clothes are." Joe longed to tell Mother about the rocking land and their adventures there, but he felt sure she would think that he was making it all up. So he said nothing and went off to change his dirty clothes. Things did not go very well the next week. Father lost some money one night, and Mother could not get very much washing to do. So that money was very, very scarce, and the children did not have as much to eat as they would have liked. "If only we could have a few hens," sighed Mother. They would at least give us eggs to eat, and a little goat would give us milk. And what I want is a new garden spade," said Father. "Mine broke yesterday, and I can't get on with the garden." "It is very important that we should grow as many vegetables as possible, for we can't afford to buy them." To make things worse, their father was very cross with them for having spoilt their clothes the day they had gone off off with the saucepan man. If that's the way you treat the only nice clothes you have, you'll just stay at home and not go out at all, he scolded. The children did not like being scolded, and Bessie mended their clothes as neatly and nicely as she could. 2 weeks went by, and the children had not even had 2 hours to themselves to go and see Moonface. He'll be wondering what's happened to us, said Fanny. Moonface certainly was wondering. He had waited each day and each night to see the children. He and Silky wondered what was the matter. We'll send the barn owl with a note to tell the children to come quickly, said Silky at last. So she slipped down the faraway tree to the hole where the barn owl lived. She knocked at his door, and he pecked it open. "What is it?" he asked in a hoarse voice. "Oh, Barney, dear, will you take this note to the children at the little cottage over by the wood?" asked Silky, in her sweet voice. "You're going out hunting tonight, aren't you?" "Yes," said the barn owl, and he took the note in one of his great clawed feet. "I'll take it." He slammed his door shut behind him, and then rose into the air with his great creamy wings. As silent as the wind, he flew to the children's cottage. They were in bed asleep. Barney sat on the tree outside and screeched loudly. The children awoke with a jump. "Whatever's that?" said Bessie. Joe came into the room. "Did you hear that?" he asked. "Whatever could it be?" The barn owl screeched again. He certainly had a dreadful voice. The children jumped. Joe went bravely to the window and looked out. Is anyone being hurt?" he called. "Me!" screeched the owl again, and Joe nearly fell out of the window with fright. The barn owl spread its great soft wings and flew to Joe. He dropped the note on the windowsill, screeched again, and then flew off into the night to look for mice and rats. "It was a barn owl," said Joe. "It left a note. Quick, light your candle. Let's see what the letter says." They lit the candle and crowded around the note. This is what it said. "Dear Joe, Bessie and Fanny, why don't you come to see us? Are you cross? Please come soon, because there is a wonderful land at the top of the tree now. It is the land of take what you want. If you want anything, you can usually get it there for nothing. Do come, and we'll all go together. Love from Moonface and Silky." "Oh," said Fanny, excited, "the land of take what you want. Well, I'd like to get a few hens, and I'd like to get a goat," said Bessie, "and I'd like to get a new spade for father," said Joe. But then he frowned. "I'd quite made up my mind not to go up to any more of those strange lands," he said. "You simply never know what might happen there. We'd better not go." "Oh, Joe," cried Bessie, "do let's. After all, if there is a nice land, we might as well visit it." "Shh! You'll wake Mother," said Joe. We will see tomorrow what happens. If we can get some time to ourselves, we'll go and ask Moonface if the land is really safe to go. Now we'd better go to bed and get some sleep." But they didn't sleep much. No, they were all wondering what the land of take what you want was like, and if they were really going to visit it tomorrow.